What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shan Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So welcome to Friday's episode. So if you have not done so already, please tune in Monday, Tuesday, our topics, Wednesday, discussion, all about critical infrastructure this week is what it pretty much turns into. So from your voting systems to advanced persistent threats to just all out DDoS attacks being in the thousands of percent year over year was pretty crazy. And then I don't believe we'll have an Ask SSP a new episode this week, so definitely tune in to whatever I post. It'll probably be something about theme. And then if you're not done so already, please go back and listen to the Ask SSP. I had Yvonne Rivera. She is the CEO, CISO, and co-founder of Cybermite. So it's a really good conversation. And then it's a whole playlist, right? So if you go in there, you go down a rabbit hole. I've recently went back and started a catalog, and we've had 22 guests on the Ask SSP, which is pretty crazy to me. So definitely tune into all those interviews. And some came back more than one time. So lots of content over there. But without further ado, Shannon, how was your week?
Man, it was all right, man. No video gaming still. You know what I gotta do? I gotta do that God of War DLC, man. Like I have it, I downloaded it, I still haven't played it. I gotta get that in at some point. You've told me because the way it sounded and the way it was described to me, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do that. You know what I mean? But you were like, no, it's good, man. Give it a shot. And I still
Yeah.
haven't. And I love God of War. You know what I mean? Like that's my
I
jam.
think you'll like it. There's a lot of combat, and then you get to it's like choose your own adventure. Like, do I want like this run? What do I want to gain from this? And then it's feeding you story. So it's like a few hours of good story in there, and then it's also giving you flashbacks to old, Kratos before the
Yeah.
2018 God of War. So I enjoyed it, and I am kind of iffy on roguelikes, right? Like because the whole thing is designed for you to fail, then you get better over time. I usually get pretty bored of it, but it was on point. I actually enjoyed it. So I would say give it a couple hours, see how you like it.
Okay, I mean, I have to like just when it first released, it just sounded like the trials type thing. So like when you go to, it's not called hell in there, is it? What's the name? The lava world or whatever it is in the game.
I think
You have to
it's
do.
Hell with one L or something like that.
Is it? Maybe it is. Okay, yeah, but
Helheim or something.
yeah, I think it's Helheim. Maybe I don't know,
Yeah.
or maybe that's the wind one. I don't know, but yeah, like I don't know. I like that the least where it's like I got to do these trials to open up this door to do that. And I'm like, just let me go through and smash and kill and
Right.
throw the axe, let the chains go. You know what I mean? Let the spear go. Do all of that. Let me do it on my time on what I want to use. Because some of it is like, hey, try to do this without doing this, do this without doing this, and then they put a time limit on it, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes I want to see some cool stuff that takes a little longer. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
I do a special power, it takes a little bit longer. Let me see that cool stuff, but that takes 7 seconds instead of 2. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but so yeah, I gotta get that in. I haven't yet, but watched a few things. I watched this documentary. I think it was called Truth and Lies, Journey to the Titanic or something like that, and it's about the Titan
Okay.
submersible last summer, the one that imploded,
Oh,
5 people
gotcha.
on it, and they got all these interviews with people that were like close to the situation and whatnot and how that went down and just telling some truthful things out there, right? Like James Cameron is in it too, right? That's the Avatar guy, right?
Yeah.
Like he's in it a little bit talking. And for him, he was like, look, he was like, I had heard immediately that within a couple of hours, like he knew about the implosion. You
Mhm.
know, he was like, so all this stuff that was going on for the 3.5 days after that, he was like, it was just silly to me. You know what I mean? But I don't ever remember him coming out and saying, hey, there was an implosion, which he probably shouldn't have, right? Because he could have been sued if for
Right.
whatever reason they were rescued. Like these people had all this grief, and they'd be like, all right, we coming after some of that Titanic money. You know what I mean? So we made all Titanic, we're gonna come after it. But yeah, he talks about it in there because it was picked up, but it was never like truly confirmed in the media until they were like until it was like
Right. They're finding like wreckage and stuff.
yeah, yeah, they were like, yeah, we did hear something within the first few hours of them going down. But yeah, they got a goddess like a astrophysicists in there talking about stuff, and like it was interesting. It was like an hour and a half, but I think it's called Truth and Lies: Journey to the Titanic or something like that. But yeah, it was interesting. So I watched that. I started watching this new series with my wife. It's called Not Dead Yet, and it's only like one season.
Okay. So I saw a trailer for that.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? So this girl, she comes back to her old hometown, and she's an obituary writer, which is crazy
Mhm.
to me, right? So like when you write an obituary, usually it's the family saying, "Hey, these are the things we want in there," but she's writing it for these people, for this newspaper. But the thing is, before she completes the obituary, she sees the dead people. Like they come to her, right, and they talk to her, and she's the only one that could see them. So it's an
Oh,
interesting,
okay.
right? So she's dealing with these people and whatnot. But it's a decent, it's a comedy, right? So we
Gotcha.
laughed a little bit, we chuckled at it. And then I tried to get into, because I tried it probably about a year ago, the show Superstore. So
Okay, yeah.
the reason I went back to trying it is because one of the girls from Not Dead Yet, one of the actresses in that, was in Superstore, and she was kind of funny. Like there's this there's this one girl in there. She's like the assistant manager, and she's like very hard up on the rules and getting on people. And that was one of the things I did like. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember her. I was like, let me get that a shot again. So I started watching that. What else do we watch? Man, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I can't finish it. I
No,
can't.
it's not doing it for you. How far did you get?
Episode 4. We finished episode 4, and even my wife was like, "All right, yeah." She was like, "You're not really feeling this anymore." And I was like, after the first episode, I was like, "It was more like this," and this is what I couldn't get down with.
Right.
So I gave it 4. But after that fourth one, when they met the other
The
John, and
other, yeah, the
I was
other,
like, yeah, I was like, "Come on,
it make you laugh at the end. Like when
no,
they went through their
no,
mission.
no," because it was short. It was short lived. Like they didn't even show any real action
Oh,
in it.
I see what you're saying.
Right?
Right, right,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So like, and then at the end, like when they're talking, they're just being weird, like talking about all the stuff that they saw, that they were like, oh, that's just weird that he would do that and she would do this. And I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like everybody loves Donald Glover, right? But I'm just like, this dude is weird to be weird, you know. It's not my bag. It's not for me. So I think we're done with that. I don't think I have to watch it anymore because my wife doesn't want to watch it anymore either.
Yeah,
So
so you're off the hook.
I'm done. I'm halfway through it, and I've started to give up on the whole. I've put this much time into it. I might as well just keep going. No, save my time. Now I'm to the point where
Mhm.
I save my time. But yeah, tried to watch that. Couldn't get into it. That's really about it. I don't think I've watched too much else. Like I said, The Dead to Me is a new show, so there's several episodes of that. Um, Superstore, same thing, several episodes of that. So I haven't really taken in too much of anything. I can't think of any movies I watched. Um, it'll probably come to me if there is one, but yeah, I can't think of
Right.
any movies I watched. But what about you, man?
It's a slow week for me too. So what did I play? I tried playing some Zelda. I gotta. So here's the thing. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out on February 29th, and that will consume me until I'm done with it. That's
But
probably
you
going to be a
but you played that already. That's what gets
so
me.
it's different. Like so not to spoil anything, but they have done some things where by the end of the first one, the remake, you're like, what? That's not the way it's supposed to happen. So they do some timey-wimey things in it. So you're like, is this an alternate universe? Is this like a different timeline? Like what is going on here? It really piqued my interest. So I'm super excited for that one that drops on the leap day. So because of that, I need to try to finish Zelda before that drops. So now, but I logged in. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, where I'm going, what's happening. I put it down for too long. So now I have to open up a guide and figure out like, I think I'm on the last phenomenon. So like dungeons, I'm on the last dungeon and I need to finish that to progress the story. And I'm just like, what is going on here? I mean, did you play the first one at all?
No. Mm-mm.
Um, or did you play Ocarina of Time? I think they were in there too. There's like the desert people.
I've not played any of those.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah,
Yeah.
so like in Zelda, it's a recurring theme. Like there's a desert section always on the map, and it's all women. So like it's like a Amazonian type situation where they don't like males. Like there's no males allowed. So I'm over there right now. Um, they know who I am because it's a sequel to the last one. They're like, oh, you're the hero. Like you're cool. You could be here. But I gotta figure out like what's going on in that region and then kind of like solve the mystery, get to the dungeon, beat the dungeon. And it's gonna be fun. I already know it's gonna be fun, but I I have to progress. I can't just walk around that world any longer. I have to actually do something. So I plan to progress in that, hopefully beat it. And then when Final Fantasy VII Rebirth drops, that's gonna be my life. It will consume me. I played the demo, so that's what spurred it. Cause I was like, I'll get to it when I get to it. So the demo dropped last week. It's like maybe 2 hours, and it is a mission from the game, so I don't have to repeat myself. Like what I just did will continue into the progress of the game, and it is amazing. It looks amazing. It sounds amazing. It controls amazing. They got me. I gotta buy it. I'm like, y'all didn't have to do this much to get me to buy this, but you did, and I appreciate that. So you get my money day one. So that will get purchased. Aside from that, I haven't really played anything. I tried to play a few games like Returnal on PS5. Returnal is a roguelike. Just not feeling it. It's it's kind of like a shooter arcade style, and it should be my jam. So I'm gonna try it again today. But it wasn't clicking for me a couple days ago. I tried playing it, and I'm just like, maybe mechanically it's supposed to be my jam, but I'm just like, you gotta feed me a little bit more. Like God of War gave me a lot. It didn't drip feed me story. So like this is drip feeding me story. Like why am I here? Like in Returnal, you're playing as like kind of like a female, I wouldn't say astronaut, but kind of like an astronaut. And like basically the game opens with you crashing on the planet. And then as you're progressing through it, you die. And then it's like a time loop. You're just like, why do I keep coming back? And then you'll run into your corpses from previous encounters, and you're like, I don't remember. Like, I didn't do that encounter. So like, you can do this thing where you scan the body, and it'll show you this last few seconds. And it's kind of interesting in that regard. Like that kind of piques my interest. And there's sometimes you'll encounter one, and you'll get an audio log where you had to fight it. You're like, I ran into myself, and we started to like battle, and you're like, why? Why would I fight myself? So you're just trying to figure out like what is going on, like why am I stuck in this time loop? So it's kind of interesting from that perspective, but it's very slow on story. And because it's a roguelike, every time you go back into the loop, everything's different. So like they've rearranged all of the chambers, and that part frustrates me as a person who is bad with direction. So I'm like, I don't know how to get where I want to get, and you keep rearranging the maze on me. So it's very frustrating for a person like me who I can't find my way out of a parking lot. So that, and it looks gorgeous. Like it's a beautiful game. So like it was almost a launch game. I don't think it came out on day one, but it's still one of the prettiest games on the console. So it's got a lot going for it. It's just again, like I wish it was more linear. I would probably be really getting into it if it was more linear, but it's the nature of roguelike is that they're not linear. So
That so sounds like it's up your alley though, man. Like with that whole premise of what you have
it
to do.
should be. It should be. It's just every time I don't know where I'm going. It's making me mad. But and they do that thing with the DualShock where it has like the haptic feedback. Like every gun has two uh, rates of fire, and you can like feel the environment. And like that's really cool. So I think I just have to give it more time because it was the same way with me with Hades. Was doing the same thing where I was just like I'm getting frustrated. Like I want to be able to play this, but I'm not quite grasping it. So I might watch a video or something. Somebody will give me some pointers. So it'll be more fun because organically I am having a crap time. So I need somebody to tell me like, do this. Like here's 10 tips I wish I had known before I start playing this game. Something like that. Like one of those YouTube videos. Um, but I can't let that get away with my Zelda. I gotta get through Zelda. So there's that. And then when it comes to TV shows, I think I'm 2 episodes away from finishing Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and it did slow down a lot. So I have not watched it. I was marathoning it, and then I haven't watched it in almost a week. So I'm going like unlike you, uh, like I applaud you for being like, you know what? I sunk time into it. It's not doing working for me. I'm not gonna sink more time into it. I cannot do that. I have to finish it. Um, and it's okay. I would say that. Like it's not the first 5 minutes of the show. Like if that had been that the first 5 minutes throughout the entire show, I think I would like it a lot more. I would have finished it by now.
I want to, you're going to finish it, right? So I want to share a theory I have with you because I'm not going to
Okay.
finish watching it that I brought up with my wife after watching, really, it was like the first episode, but off air, we'll talk about it. But
Okay. Got you. Because yeah, there's an episode you didn't get to it, but there's an episode with Ron Perlman, and it's a
it's
little
the
bit
it's the
yeah.
next
So
one that will come up. Yeah.
it's a little bit more fast paced because it's basically a babysitting type mission where there's whomever is sending the people to kill Ron Perlman, and you're supposed to keep him and save him. He's not a good person, so you kind of like we don't like him, but we have to protect him. So
It's kind of
it's
like safe.
interesting.
It's like safe house, right? It's like
Yeah,
safe.
yeah, exactly. Um, so that one was kind of interesting, but yeah, it slows down after that. Again, but I started the menu that was the movie I started. I did not finish it because it was like super late at night. It is one of those thriller suspense, like what the hell is going on here? Like, so I don't know if you would like it. Um, but it's kind of crazy. Like they don't get to they don't get to the action until about midway through. But now I think the rest of the movie is all about that action. Um, because it was crazy. Like it just jumps for no like it's like they're all on this private island and they all paid to have this dinner and they're like eating their food and it's very slow. They're trying to build it like each table has like a cast of characters. They're trying to like explain like organically like why they're there and what their whole thing is. And what you starting to find out is uh like obviously they're all kind of critics of some sort or they're like famous people. But the chef knows a lot more about them than he should. And then he's kind of exposing them and how, I guess, crappy they are or whatever. But now people are starting to drop.
It sounds like Saw.
Kind of, sort of. And so all one, like they just showed, like the only thing is they showed them come off the pier and like get into the location, and now they're just in the location the entire time. So it's one of those type of movies where it doesn't move outside of the one or two scenes for the duration of the movie. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know how it ends. But it piqued my interest because I'd seen the thumbnail. I'm just like, what is this movie about? Um, and now I know it's about craziness. It's pretty crazy.
So I did think of I was as you were talking, I was thinking about this. I did watch a movie that was not that great. It's called Black Site,
Okay.
on Hulu, I think it was, and it's a black site that they bring this guy to that they discovered, and he escapes and craziness ensues. But
Mm.
it was just kind of poorly written. You know what I mean? Like the actors aren't that great. You know, and
Okay.
it had some action, but yeah. So yeah, Black Site, you could pass on that.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't think I heard of it actually.
It's
But
got a
it would have popped on my like
yeah,
uh recommended probably.
Bridget Moynihan, Jai Courtney. Um, who Jai Courtney is, he's kind of hit or miss for me, depending on what he's doing. Right, like I didn't like him with Bruce Willis in the last Die Hard movie they did. Like his son,
Mhm.
that's who Jai Courtney is. But I liked him in what's the one with Tom Cruise, Jack Reacher. So
Okay, gotcha.
he's the guy that's with the check in Jack Reacher. Like yeah, he's hit or miss for me, but he's in this one too. Um, there might have been one other actress I recognize, but I don't know. It's so. So yeah, Black Site was the name of it. I'm like,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
it's one of those that they just put out like to make a little bit of money. Like it was an hour and a half, if even, type thing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like yeah, not much to it, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there really isn't much more on my radar, to be honest with you.
I meant to tell you. So like my youngest son, right? He's 11. He was playing You got me getting ready to say Breath of the Wild too. Tears of the Kingdom. Is that
Here's the
your
kingdom. Yep.
Tears of the Kingdom? Um, and now he's to the point where he's watching videos of people that have done certain things in the game. And there was this cool one with this dragon that was being defeated. I stood
Mhm.
there for a little while watching it. Like, man, I was like, what game is this, man? And he tells me, and then I'm watching somebody else play. So like, I never understood how these people could watch people play on Twitch or whatever it is, right?
Right.
But as I'm looking at it, I'm like, dang, it's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Because the person that's playing it, they don't upload the video if they're not any good. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So it's like you're not watching a YouTube video of somebody that's terrible. But yeah, he was defeating this dragon, and I was just like, wow, that's kind of cool. And like you're right, man. So like I've seen the game like in passing when my boys are playing it, but as I watched the video, I was like, this does look really good for Nintendo. Like this does, it's not like PS5 good, but I'm like, this
Right.
looks good for what they have, for what the hardware's is
Yeah, it should not run. It
yeah,
shouldn't function.
yeah,
And it does well. That's the crazy
yeah.
part. Um, what I'm hoping is like there should be an announcement sometime in the near future for the next Switch or whatever Nintendo's coming out with. They usually go in pairs, right? So like the Wii, the Wii U, the N64 and the GameCube had a lot of DNA between the two of them. The NES, the Super NES, right? Like usually it's a pair. So I'm expecting it not to be too crazy. It'd be the Switch something, right? And just give me more power. Like you already have the games. Like we know that you make phenomenal games on very last gen hardware, right? Like people come to you because you make phenomenal games. Just give me a little bit of oomph, right? Because some of the like Breath of the Wild or not Breath, yeah, Breath of the Wild look good, Tears of the Kingdom look good. Um and like Mario Kart Deluxe, which I just heard a crazy stat. Mario Kart 8, the one that the most recent Mario Kart, is like the second uh highest selling game, Nintendo game of all time, or something like that. Something crazy. Like there's like
What?
it's like in the top three. Like so there's obviously Mario, which has been a staple since the 80s. And then there is Wii Sports, which it came with every Wii, right? Wii was one of the highest selling consoles of all time. And then it's Mario Kart, the latest Mario Kart. It's crazy. There's
Like
139 switches, 139 million switches out in the wild.
that's
And
crazy.
and they said something like 60 million or something like that have Mario Kart. Some ridiculous. Where you're just like, that's a lot of units. People love the Mario Kart. I have it.
For
Um,
you or for your kids though? Like, do you play Mario Kart?
I play more than the kids, to be honest. Like sometimes I get them all in the room, we all play, but I smash them every time. It's ridiculous. Like, do y'all even know how to drive?
Look, now you remember that next time you play RJ and Madden.
That's
You remember
true. That is
like this
true.
is this how you feel? That's what you're gonna say to him. Is this how you feel when I talk to you about Mario Kart? Like I won't do that anymore.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. But yeah, it's something ridiculous. Like it's one of the highest selling Nintendo games of all time. I was like, man, that's why I can't get a Switch too, because y'all are continuously selling this console like hotcakes. But what I'm hoping, just give me a little bit of oomph. Like there's speculation that it'll have enough of that new tech, that new DLSS and all the other up converters and things of that nature, where it'll be at least PS4 Pro graphics. I'll take it. Because right now, I mean, I don't know where you would rank it, but maybe PS3, maybe. So I'll take that bump. I will definitely take it if you can make it, if you can get games. Because the thing is about the Switch for me, I rarely ever play it on my TV. Like I play Zelda on my TV just because of the scope and span and whatever. But like all the other games, I usually handheld. So if you give me a handheld with PS4 Pro type graphics, man, listen, which is it's doable. Like if I get a Steam Deck, but I don't want to pay like a Steam Deck costs like 650, and it would be versatile, right? So Steam Deck will play all the Steam games. It does remote play, so like you can, because of the PC, you can do very minimal work to get it to stream PS5 games. You can play Xbox Game Pass games on it. It'll be an all-in-one box for me. So if I did get a Steam Deck, I could do a lot with it. However, I'm cheap. I don't want to pay you 650 for Steam Deck and then you drop Steam Deck 2. That would break my heart. So I'm on I more and more I keep thinking about it because I want to get a PS5 port or no PS Portal, right? The little handheld. Not it's not little, it's like ginormous, like 8-inch screen. To stream my PS5 games because I don't like sitting from my couch as much as I used to play games at night. Like it's okay during the day. But I want to go home when I want to go upstairs and crash. I don't want to take PS5 upstairs. I'd rather just have it in my hands, right? So I can finish up whatever I'm doing. Like I still want to get downstairs to play with the graphics and the amazingness. But if I'm just trying to collect some stuff, I can play on the handheld. That's fine. So it's like, do I buy a $200 PS Portal or do I buy a $650 PC, mobile PC? I'm leaning towards $200.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that seems like an easier decision, but
But
okay.
but I can do more with it, right? I'll be able to do everything except for Nintendo with it. But that cost is high, super high.
It's like the rent, all right?
Right. So I go back and forth. I'm going to get one of them. I have to get one of them because I can't. Again, like when it comes to like just finishing up some stuff, like I'll play Returnal is gorgeous. I'll play downstairs like during the day. I might get a couple sessions or whatever, but at night, is when I really start to like, oh man, I want to play something, but I'm in the room. I'm just like, nah, I'm not gonna uncable the Xbox and bring it all the way up the stairs, cable it
Just buy
back up.
just buy another one and put it up there. That's all you got to do.
I can't buy another Xbox. You know, we have three of them in the house now.
I
The
know. I know.
two Series S for the boys, and then my X. I'm not buying no more Xboxes.
I know.
And then PS5, like they have the PS5, I guess you call it slim or whatever. It's not slim enough. The thing is still humongous. Have you seen it? Like, do you have a PS5? I can't remember. You have a PS5.
I have a
Yeah.
PS5, yeah,
It's
but
too big.
I've seen I've seen the other one coming out, and I'm like, that does not.
It's not much smaller.
Yeah, not much smaller at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I need an actual slim box. But there's speculation that there's a PS5 Pro coming. So if that comes out, I will buy it. Because I skipped all the pros last generation. I'm not buying that. I'm waiting for the next one. And then it took 4 or 5 more years.
Yeah, it took a while.
So
Yeah.
but I'm not doing that this generation. I will buy the mid-grade refresh or whatever.
So their average time between consoles is 7 or 8 years or something like that, right? Or
Yeah.
I thought you told me this. Yeah, seven or
Yeah.
eight.
Yeah.
Seven.
Now, like it used to be quicker back in the day. It would be like 4 or 5 years. They
Yeah.
would jump to the next one. But because of hardware being better, but just pipelines and pandemics and things of that nature, like console generations have stretched way longer than back in the day. Because it wouldn't be crazy where you're like, okay, like I've been playing Sonic for like, 3, 4 years, and like I'm already looking at the next Sega console. Like it was pretty quick turnover. Now that'd be unheard of. You'd be like, what? I can't play my I can't play my game. And then you completely lose access to those games. Like back in the day, like if they didn't carry over. So you play on this thing for 3, 4, maybe 5 years, and then boop, here's the next one. All that stuff is obsolete. Like now gamers expect, like, I want to be able to play this game from 1999.
Yeah. I want PS1 games, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
And we become very entitled.
But it's learned behavior based off what they provided already, right? Like backwards compatibility is a thing that they advertise as a good feature. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, all right, you can't tell me this. The last 2 generations you made this happen, and now you don't do it anymore, right? It's like Samsung. It's like Samsung when they went away from the SD cards. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Storage and whatnot. It's like you're doing what Apple does. You know what I mean? Like I gotta buy a new phone if I want more storage. Nah, man, I ain't doing that.
Right. Right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you can't do it anymore. You can't just expand your own. You're like, no, there's no money in that.
That was a big thing for like why I liked Androids, right? Like if I
Yeah.
needed space, I could just go get a card, pop it in, and there it is. But yeah, they got to a point where they were like, nah, no money. Like you said, no money to be made in that,
Yeah,
right?
there's no money in that. I need you get off this because I rock a phone forever. Like I had that Note 3 forever. It finally blew up. It was like, okay, now it's time for you to upgrade. You self-destructed your phone. Um,
I got to be honest with you, man. Like, so I was waiting for the iPhone 15, right? I never got it. There was different issues with it, like, and then the S24 came out, and I looked at that, and I was like, this seems the same as the S23 that I didn't trigger on, right? You know what I mean? So I'm like, let me see what this iPhone 16 does, maybe, right? Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I at this point, I'm almost 4 years in on the phone. You know what I mean? And I still having some of those same issues that I've been having, but I'm used to it now, right? If apps are just closing on me or it just
Yeah,
freezes, or
you have a limit. Like
that's what you
that
keep
does not happen.
that's what you keep telling me, man. And it could be, right? Like that's a possibility. The possibility is always out there, and I'm just in that minority now that it happened to. But I don't know. I'm because I usually just buy the phones outright. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like for me, I'm not trying to spend because they're expensive now.
So
$1,200.
yeah, yeah, I was like say the bottom price is like 800, right? And that's the phone that nobody wants. But
Yeah,
I spend at least a G.
yeah. So I don't know. I'll wait till September and see what the 16 is about, right? Maybe they'll have fixed the issues with the overheating and stuff like that. And then maybe it'll be better for me. But I don't know. The S24, like as I look at it, it just hasn't done anything for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm only interested in the 15 for the camera. Like those cameras are pretty pretty I won't say badass. I was trying to think of another word for it, but no, they're pretty badass. So I'm just like, I kind of want it. But like you said, like now I might as well wait. I'm already past. I might as well wait for the 16. I don't necessarily need a redesign on the phone. Like my phone is just old, right? I have a 12. It's just and it's too small. I want the bigger version of the next one. Like I want something that fits my hands.
Oh, Max. Yeah.
Yeah, I want the Pro Max this time around because I only have a Pro. So I'm interested in the cameras and what have you. So I don't need a redesign on that one. I just need to upgrade to it. I need a redesign on the watch. I've been holding out on the watch. I don't even know what this one is anymore. Like the watch I have, it's so damn old. But it doesn't respond all the time now. Like I'll touch it and I think the screen is starting to fail. It won't scroll sometimes. I'll have to restart it to get it to actually recognize that I'm trying to scroll on it. So it's definitely time to upgrade it. But I keep hearing rumor that there's going to be a redesign because the watch has not changed in some time. So it keeps saying like there's going to be a new form factor. So I was just like, I want that, but this watch is struggling.
But here's the thing though. Do you want that though, right? So like the iPhone 15 showed you like when they changed up and went to that different connector, right? Like they suspect that's why it's overheating, right? Because they're not using the lightning anymore and
Okay,
they're charging,
right.
so they
The
suspect that's why.
Type C or whatever. Yeah.
Right. And because of the titanium and all that. So like when they went to a new, it's like cars, right? When you go to that first new year model, it's
Mhm.
like, maybe wait it out, right? Let them fix those bugs.
Oh
Like
yeah, I see what you're saying. Right. Yeah.
if
Get
it's
the
a
Gen
new
2 or Gen
design,
3.
yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a new design, or at least wait for them to like get a year into production and you start getting the new ones coming off the line until they figured out the problem, you know what I mean? Because that's what you
Right. Right.
do. All of a sudden your wrist starts burning. You're like, you gotta,
That would suck.
you
You have
know,
a big circle on your wrist.
yeah. You scarred up. People are like, dang, were you a POW or something? Like, what's up with these burns on your wrist? But yeah,
I don't
might
know. Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point, but do I upgrade now then? Just because because this would be the best of this form factor would be the current watch. Because my watch is failing. Like I actually have a reason to upgrade now because it's starting to die. And I have not worked out in weeks, but when I do work out for weeks at a time. So it will get some use out of it. Um,
wait till it gets closer to release time. So do they release the watches in September like they do the phones? Is it the same type of
I think it is. I think it's
schedule?
roughly the same time. Yeah. Usually the watch and the phone drops at the same time. And then uh watching the phone, and then the subsequent one is usually like the tablets and the
Yeah.
Mac Pros and things of that nature.
So you might want to wait like another, if you can, right? Like you say, it's failing. Like you may get to a point where it just dies on you. But
Yeah.
if you wait till the summer, usually by the summer, like those rumors that come out for Apple, I've been seeing the last few years are usually pretty dead on. Like you got a couple
Mhm.
go to there where it's like, I'm sure that person works for Apple as good as that guest was, right?
Right.
On the rumors of what's supposed to be coming out. So but like if you wait till the summer, like you'll see if it actually is going to be a new form factor, right? Like if Apple hasn't come out and said it, I don't know because I don't do the Apple watches because I can't have them where I work, right? So
Right.
like for me, I don't pay attention to that. But if Apple hasn't come out and directly said that, then wait till the summer till those good leakers come out and say, yeah, this is what it's going to look like. And if it's
Yeah,
not
that's
the
true.
case, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if it's not going to change up, I can just switch out. That and the Apple TV. Like I have an Apple TV and I've been wanting to upgrade for a couple of years now, but there's always a rumor that like there's going to be a new one. There's going to be a new one. So you go to Mac Rumors, I think it's macrumors.com, and they usually break down like how close it could be, and they always say like it's imminent. I'm just like, I gotta wait. Because this one is like a Gen 2 Apple TV or whatever. Like they've subsequently upgraded already. So I'm just like, well, I don't want that one. They're gonna come out with another one. But I that's my go-to. That's my streaming box. So the reason I want to upgrade it is because of the new TV. So I wanted a newer box downstairs. And I want to take this one upstairs. So I have two Apple, you know what I mean? Like I can use it upstairs because right now upstairs is just the TV smart apps, which is not as good as the Apple TVs when it comes to visuals. Like they just look better. Um, and I get that music upstairs. So that's also another reason. So we'll
When you
see.
say
We'll see what the future holds.
when you say get the music, like because it has a native Apple Music player in it.
Yeah.
So here's what I'll tell you, right? So through my PS5, I have the Apple Music app that I can play through it through my
Okay.
PS5. So you might have it already, like, well, depending on where you're trying to put it upstairs, right? Like if you don't have any other smart TV, I mean, it's whatever. But look for the Apple Music app and do it that way.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see if because the one upstairs is a Roku, so I'll see if the Roku has it in there.
Yeah.
Probably does. So yeah, I'll check it out. I'll see if it's up because I wouldn't have to upgrade again until the new one comes out.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the future holds. But that's pretty much it for me, man. Like, it's a very slow week. I don't really have anything exciting to talk about. I'm still studying, so I'm studying for the CCSP right now. I'm thinking about pivoting into the new CMMC stuff. I'm trying to find um, avenues to get it paid for without me coming out of pocket and then asking for reimbursement, all that other stuff. I'm just like, I'm still in my window for retirement where people, you know what I mean, have programs to help with transition. So I'm trying to find one of those that might be able to pay for it. Because right now for the certified CMMC, I think it's practitioner or professional. I can't remember, but it's CCP is like $2,000 for the course is what I'm finding. That's roughly because it's how it's kind of being positioned, like because that's the future, right? Like these assessments are coming in hot and heavy. 2025 is right around the corner. So they know a lot of people are trying to get in there. So the courses are very expensive. Um, and I, I'm getting FOMO. I'm just like, I kind of want to jump into it. Like the IC Squares certified cloud security professional is always going to be on my list because I definitely want to get that one. But this one seems to be a hot ticket item. So I'm like, do I need to jump in now? Do I need to jump in? Like, because I'm already starting to interview people who already have the certification. It seems to be rolling pretty quick. It seems like it's not going to slow down. The government's not going to back off. So just like as an assessor, I'm just like, I kind of want that one right now. So so I'm right there on the fence. Like if I find somebody who will fund it, I'll pull the trigger. So that's where I'm currently at. But in the meantime, I'm studying for the cloud, and it's pretty interesting. Like I'm learning a lot of stuff. Like I was just like, oh, it's gonna be just like on-prem stuff. And then you get to a certain point, you're like, no, it's not. Hypervisors and containers. I'm just like, whoa, there's a lot of good information. So I'm learning about that right now, and how to secure it. So that's my life. But definitely continue to tune in throughout the upcoming weeks. Again, I have a lot of Ask Us SPs lining up, right? Like I reached out to my previous guests, and a lot of them have rebooked. They have new initiatives. They have new triumphs to talk about, right? Like new things that are going on in their specific demographics. So that's really cool. And then we always have the hottest cybersecurity news. There's always something going down. It's only going to get hotter and heavier as we get to the election weeks. Definitely tune in for all that shenanigans, right? That are going to transpire. You can hit us up by the websites that go by our name. Give me a person at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. You can find me on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, and Threads. Stay safe, stay secure.